It is currently 9 p.m. on the dot. As I record this, I am sitting on top of a hill. On top of a hill in my beloved Cowtown, if you know, you know. Just sitting, looking at the stars. And I knew that I was probably going to record today's episode on top of this beloved hill of mine. But I didn't really have a plan for anything else besides that, other than the fact that I knew that where I am right now, this place that I'm currently sitting on top of this hill, is extremely special to me, and it is my safe haven. And I mean, sitting on top of a hill anywhere, I feel like you just automatically have more clarity. You quite literally have a higher perspective. And honestly, that's why I liked coming here so much. I came here a lot during college. This is on my college campus, hence the Cowtown. Hashtag Go Huskies. But I would come here a lot because it was just the one place that I really found the most peace. Like the greatest sense of just being unplugged. And spending time in nature, I feel like that's calming for anyone. But there is something especially potent for me about looking at the stars. And I know all of this might sound a little bit cheesy here, but there's a greater point, a greater message that I'm here to share today. So anyways, the stars have always held a special place in my heart. I have always had an interest in space, space, astronomy, first off, not astrology, but also astrology, the more I learn about it. Just anything that had to do with the makeup of the universe, stars, planets, galaxies, like everything. I loved it. I've been obsessed with it since I was in like freaking 6th grade, watching like how the universe works on on my summer breaks. And today it just feels really special for me to be up here recording this because I don't know who needs to hear it. I really do trust that like every time that someone hears something that I'm putting out, the goal is obviously to help and to provide a perspective that might be needed for the person listening. So if you're listening to this, if you're here, I trust that there's something in this for you. And I think about the times that I've come up here where they've stood out to me the most. A lot of the times was just coming up here, like it was senior year, just dead of freaking winter, which is when the night sky in the northern hemisphere is like my favorite constellation, just everything. I love it. I know the most constellations too, so maybe that's a little biased. But anyways, dead of winter, I would love to come up here, and I have this big giant parka, this like blueberry, huge, like Loki down to my knees parka. I would bundle up, come up here at like 9 or 10 at night, just for no fucking reason other than to just sit and ponder. A girl is entitled to a ponder every now and then, and I just found so much peace coming here. Like, I had a very, very stressful college life time to time. Like, my schedule was always very busy. I was still very happy, I would say, but I was definitely busy, and stress was like my normal state of being. I was definitely rushing everywhere. I was just whatever, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times in college, I will say that I felt a bit overwhelmed, but like honestly a different level of overwhelmed, just like unaligned. I was just like, it's just too much to have this much on my plate at once. But like, I also loved everything that I did, so it's like I wasn't going to take anything off my plate. And I think that a lot of us can experience these levels of great overwhelm and stress, and just like constantly being on the go, doing something for people, like figuring things out, being a leader, managing your life, managing other people. And it just, wow, like the weight of carrying all of that is just so heavy sometimes. Like, it can be such a heavy weight on your shoulders. And if you're someone like me who thinks a lot and, I don't know, processes a lot through just being in my own space, like my own energy, just not absorbing anyone or anything else, I feel like it's especially comforting to come to a place where you know that like you're not going to be interrupted. Like, it is literally just you and nature and the stars. And I think it's important to understand that like it can give you, I know it seems like such a waste of time when you're in the thick of like a stressful season, to just be like, I'm just gonna go out and just sit and do absolutely nothing for an hour and just contemplate my thoughts, or just like reset here. Like, for us busy folk, for the overthinkers, for the people who are like in freaking basically in fight or flight all the time, that can feel very uncomfortable because you're like, that's such a waste of time. That's not productive. That's not efficient. Why would I be doing that when I have 500,000 other things to do? But in reality, these periods of reflection or just giving yourself the space to like feel through and think through everything that's on your plate and just kind of just like literally just like starfish on top of a fucking hill, stare at the stars and like decompress, they give you back time. Like they bring you more life force energy back into your body. Like they give you back way more than what is taken if that's just an hour out of your day or even 10-15 minutes. Like it doesn't take much for this to be reset, but taking a break, disconnecting from the hustle and just reconnecting with yourself and honestly with nature too is just a very, very grounding force that I don't think enough people are utilizing. And in my personal experience, every time that I came here, I don't know what it is, but I just felt such a sense of deep personal connection, like I always have, like I said, but I always felt a deep sense of personal connection to the stars and the night sky. Again, this might sound really cheesy, but you know what? This episode is already a one-off, just random, not really like my normal ones, but here we are. This is called the Horse Barn Hill Chronicles. But anyways, I just like, this is gonna sound weird, but I would literally just speak all of my thoughts out loud. Like, to no one. No one was here. No one was listening to me. It was literally just me and this hill and the stars. And I would talk aloud. Like, I would talk genuinely through, like, having a conversation. It was basically like speaking to God, in a sense, or the universe, whatever you say, I don't care. But it was like speaking to this greater, higher, divine power that is always watching over us and influencing us for the better and trying to keep us on track and, like, just always unconditionally loving us. Like, that was the kind of force and energy that I was speaking to. And obviously I'm going to feel connected to that looking at the stars, because this might trip some people out, and I'm going to say something that is very obvious, but, like, if you really sit down and think about this, like, to me, it's just fucking crazy. But every time we're looking at the night sky, as I am right now, I am looking at the constellation Cygnus, and Lyra is right above me with Vega, the brightest star in our summer night sky in the northern hemisphere. I'm looking at these constellations and all these stars, and I'm like, hold on. All of these stars, like, odds are good, most of these stars genuinely have planets around them. Like, these are real. These are not just, like, little specks in the sky. Like, our solar system looks just like one of these random-ass stars to another solar system that we are looking at and seeing just a tiny little speck in the sky. Like, the universe is so massive, beyond our comprehension. Like, everything that I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at Cassiopeia. Like, all of these stars are genuinely real, physical places. The only thing that's separating us is distance. But like there's, I don't know, this might sound really convoluted and maybe no one is really vibing with this, I don't really care, but it just really makes me trip out, because I'm like, zoom out, give more perspective to, I just realized I think that's no, it's not. I thought I recognized a constellation, and I think I might have. Anyways, give more thought to the perspective of the fact that, like, literally, we think our worldly problems, our stresses, all of our anxieties, like, everything, even if it just feels like it's going to absolute shit, like, you zoom out to the perspective of how big our universe is, and your problems just start to feel so much smaller. Not in, like, a bypassing way, but just in the way of, like, being in awe of the fact that, like, we are part of such a big universe. Like, there's so much more beyond just, like, our mundane little day-to-day stressors or our schedules or whatever. Like, the bigger picture of things, like, we are literally just a tiny speck to another planet in a different solar system. We are literally just a tiny little speck of light in the sky. And to zoom out like that, I don't know if that's going to trip some people out, but for me, it always makes me feel more comfortable, because it makes me remember the fact that, like, oh, I have always had this greater connection to, like, something bigger than me, and I've had a bigger purpose laid on my heart since the day I was freaking born. Like, I don't know, there's so much more to life, to this world, to our existence, to our souls, beyond just our physical day-to-day stressors. Like, everything that's happening in this physical world, like, all of the very, like, human, busy life kind of stuff, like, all of it is just a little blip in the universe. Like, in comparison to how big it is, like, this is all just, like, a tiny little, like, bloop, which doesn't mean it's any less meaningful, or that your stressful days don't feel like shit, and that you're not overwhelmed, but it just means that, like, there's a higher perspective available when we're going through such rough patches or seasons of stress and overwhelm and chaos. Like, everything will be okay. Everything is always going to be okay. No matter what is happening, like, everything is going to work out. And just something about coming up here and talking to the stars and talking to the night sky, as much as I might sound like a fucking crazy person, I know I'm not, but might sound like it just brings me such a sense of peace. And I think that that kind of freedom of unlatching yourself from looking at things in such a narrow point of view, and, like, allowing yourself to, like, zoom out to just the fact that, like, literally just looking around you at, like, the physical proof of, like, everything in this world, beyond this world. Like, there's so much more to life than the things that feel like our biggest worries or our biggest stressors. And with that kind of perspective, I feel like it's so incredibly freeing and comforting. Because yes, we still have to deal with them, but that, I don't know, just, like, thinking about it with this understanding of, like, there's way, way, way more. There's such bigger stuff just beyond everything we worry about so much. It just really feels freeing. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope that there was something in here that helped someone. And if you take anything from this episode, I encourage you to just sit outside and stare at the stars. Bonus points if you can name constellations and stars in particular. If you don't know them, but you want to know them, literally just get the Night Sky app or any kind of app and you can learn them. It just, like, I have studied, quote unquote studied, like, I've just looked up, learned, noticed every single season basically for the past, like, I don't know, 8 years of my life, like, all the constellations that stand out the most and, like, are the easiest to see just with the light pollution and everything. So I know a lot. Like, I can recognize a lot. And if you're someone who thinks that is, like, I don't know, intriguing, cool party trick or something, then I encourage you to look into it. Because I think, honestly, guys, it feels like I'm moving into, like, continuously moving through a next chapter of my life. And, like, the season that my brand is moving into is one that feels more deeply rooted in a connection and understanding that I've always had about our world and our place in it, and just understanding that syncing with our natural rhythms and, like, the natural rhythms of the earth also brings us into harmony. And, like, there is a natural state, like, when we are in our most natural state of being, obviously things are, like, way more aligned, not just for us but also the planet and the freaking universe at large. I mean, this is kind of the point of the brand, like, being your most organic self speaks to that, like, being your most natural, in your most natural harmonious state of being that you just, like, again, are naturally in. But the things that keep us from that are the distractions and the lack of understanding of, like, how we are best meant to work with the natural rhythms of the earth and the moon and the stars and our bodies and just different seasons of life, and even moving through different seasons, like I said, of overwhelm, of stress. Like, all of this just works in cycles and seasons. And if there's anything that this higher perspective that I have right now can offer you, it is the fact that there is, in fact, always a higher perspective available that will probably make you feel a lot better about yourself and your life. So anyways, small side tangent in case you guys are curious. This is astrology. If you're done with this episode, thank you for being here. But you know how we have 12 zodiac signs, right? Everyone understands. Okay, zodiac signs, great. We think, oh my god, I'm a Gemini, blah, blah, blah. But it's, like, genuinely, like, the zodiac signs are real constellations that you can see in the night sky. I feel like that's pretty clear, that's pretty obvious, but in case you didn't know, they are real. Like, you could see the constellation Gemini. I'm looking right now at the constellation Scorpio. I think it's Scorpius, technically, but Sagittarius, where the fuck is she? I fucking know what it looks like. It looks like a teapot. looks kind of funny, whatever. But they go in order in the night sky. So right now, it is currently Leo season. This means, from the perspective of like the Earth and the Sun, that the constellation Leo, from our perspective on Earth, is currently like quote unquote behind the Sun. So the Sun is in Leo right now. Like if we are looking, if you use your night sky app during the day and you point it at the Sun, you will see the constellation Leo is kind of like behind it. So that's what kind of controls what season of the zodiac signs that we're in. It's the Sun moving through the zodiac signs. But obviously, like I said, these are real constellations. So as we move through each constellations, like these constellations are moving behind the Sun. So the constellations that you can currently see right now are always lagging. So like they're the ones to come in like, I don't know, the next 4 or 5 months or whatever, like how many you can see. Like right now, you're not going to be able to see Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries for a while because we just had all of these constellations move through the Sun. Hence the zodiac seasons, hence the time of year. I just think that like this is so crazy, guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Fuck that. No, I'm not. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't know. I just think it's absolutely fascinating how like just how all of this works. Hence my fascination with it. I mean, my love for the universe and astrology. I keep saying astrology now because I keep fucking like I've been more active in astrology now or understanding of it, but I mean fucking astronomy. It pisses me off too when people don't know the difference. Like, oh my god. But anyways, my obsession with learning about the universe is actually what influenced my desire to choose mechanical engineering as my degree, because I wanted the ability to go into aerospace and work in those kind of applications if I wanted to. But I also knew that mechanical was a good general broad engineering degree that could be applied to other fields, which is where I currently work. I don't work in aerospace right now, but like point being is like this has a big influence on my life, and just I don't know. There's a higher perspective here, but there's major significance to my understanding of the natural world that I think is playing into my brand. But anyways, I hope that this is a semi-unselfish episode, because I know I talked about myself for this whole time, but I hope that my perspectives or yapping can just help you guys. We shall see. I will leave this here. I hope you guys are having an incredible day. Go be your most organic selves. I will see you not on top of the hill in the next one.